Hi everyone, I'm Sonia Brotherton and this is Dontario. We're here today to do the plaiting with thread video. We're going to be doing the golf ball type plaits today, so the very large balls that sit up high on the neck and you have fewer plaits in the neck. So first of all we'll show you what kit we've got. It's middle of summer, so I'm going to use some fly spray, help keep the flies off. Got a tool kit, got a belt to wear around my waist that has the comb and bands in. Although we're plaiting with thread, we'll still secure the ends of the plaits with bands. Various thread for different coloured horses. So there's some brown thread there, which would be for a chestnut horse. Black thread for Dante today. Hello you. Or what is it? My trusty clip. Just pins the hair back out the way. If you don't want to buy the big reels of thread, you can get these smaller ones. So there's white thread there for a grey horse. We've got some blunt-ended scissors for trimming any loose frayed bits of hair. And then the tin. I mentioned the tin before in another video. It really wasn't that exciting, I'm afraid. It is just. I use this toolkit generally for stitching on lost buttons and whatnot. So I've got normal needles, needle and thread there. But for plaiting, I use a really large needle. It's got a very big eye for threading your plaiting thread through, because plaiting thread is very thick. What I would suggest is you never ever do thread plaits in a stable with bedding, because if you do drop your needle, you're not going to find it again, and that's obviously a danger to the horse. So we're going to plait today in the wash box. If I drop the needle, it's going to go on the rubber matting and I'll find it easily. There we go, the tin. Sorry it wasn't that exciting. So I'm quite short, so I stand up on a box just so I can reach him better. First thing I'm going to do is comb out the mane. Get rid of any knots. Now we want to give it a really good wetting. If it was the winter, I'd be using warm water and really try not to get any down his neck. So the wetter the better. It really does help if you make the mane very wet. Bit of fly spray. If you put it on before you start, obviously you've got the benefit of fly spray in the plaited hair, but also he's less likely to shake flies off while you're in the middle of plaiting. So still an even number, including the forelock, but for these big golf ball type plaits, we'll be looking for a lot fewer, even on Dante, who's been having 18 up till now. 5, 6, 7, 8. I think 10 is going to be appropriate for Dante. And with these, we do start them a little bit smaller at the top, chunkier in the middle and smaller at the bottom, but not massively so. You don't want them to be tiny at the top and then huge in the middle. I'm going to use a comb's width and then bunch them over, ready to plait. It really does help with these plaits if the mane hasn't been recently pulled and it's not too short. It's much easier to do these if the mane's a little bit long. So I'm aiming to do really neat lines with my comb and check the numbers as I go so I end up with an even number. 1 for the forelock, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I've got room left for 2 more at the bottom now. So although we're plaiting with thread, I'm going to secure the ends with bands. So for these sort of plaits, we're not going to do as tight as we were. The top section needs to be quite loose so that it ends up forming an archway. So separate it into 3 equal segments, and they really do need to be equal because you want to be able to plait right down to the end. Make these top turns quite loose so that the plait can eventually go up into an archway. Now, once I get to about halfway down, I'll start to then plait tight. So loose to halfway, and then once you're down to there, you can plait tight to the end. So I've done 9 plaits in the neck. We're done there. Some of them I've tucked under because they're thinner at the end, and others I've left just like this. These are going to be really chunky golf balls. Needle and thread. I'm going to secure it in the end of the plait. And we're going to roll the plait up and secure it. Be very careful not to push the needle into the horse's neck. Now we're not going to go round the loops because I don't want to spoil the look of those. So come back down into the plait. Again, being very careful not to stick the needle in the horse. And then go back up and come back down. When you're going up, you can pull it nice and tight. You don't really need to do a knot now. You've gone up through the plait and back down again enough times. There's no need to tie a knot in your thread. It will be secure. We've got enough on there for one more. So secure the needle and thread into the end. Roll it into a ball. Put your needle through the ball into the arched piece. Back down through it. And back up through it. Be very careful not to stab your horse. Back down. Secure the needle through the end of the plait. Notice I've got quite a lot of thread here. Okay, so I've secured the thread in the end of the plait. Roll it into a ball. And these don't matter if they're a little bit loose, the plaits themselves, as long as the ends are secure. And we don't want to damage this nice arched effect. So we're going to come back down. The one good thing about doing this sort of plait is you do have more of a ball to lose your frayed ends of the plait in. It kind of hides them a bit. Secure your thread in the end of the plait. Roll the plait into a ball. Push the needle through the bottom of the plait, not into the neck, up through the middle of the archway, and then come back down into the ball again, out of the bottom of the ball. Back up, we'll go a little bit to the right. And back down, we'll aim to come out through the left. And that way you've just secured it A little bit from both sides. Slightly different angle. Secure it. Give it another little wet. We're going to do a French plait into the forelock. So take a segment from the top at each side and one from the middle. And bring the right hand one over the middle one. And then the left hand one over that. I'll bring the right one in with a new piece. Left one in with a new piece. Right one in, bring in a new piece. And when you get to the base of the forelock, you can just plait down to the end in the normal way. Okay, so we've got our French plait. Going to secure the end with the needle. Roll it up. Push it through. Be very careful not to stab him in the brain with it. Again, pick it slightly from the right this time. No, Dante, not while we're working with the needle. Back down, through slightly through the left this time, and back up again. Let's really make this secure. The needle well away from his face and eyes. Just go with that. There we've got a nice neat forelock, plaited, and the neck done with some golf ball plaits today. I think you'd agree Dante looks very smart with these. I do like these big golf ball plaits, not least because they don't take as long. Good boy.